Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is featuring my friend Issra. Thank you so much to her for doing this video with me. So I'm just going to start off by priming her eyelids, and I'm using the Black Radiance Perfecting Eyeshadow Primer to do this. Now, to make sure there's no creasing, I'm going to set the primer with some translucent powder from Sasha Cosmetics. Now moving on to the crease, I'm going to be applying this muted brown eyeshadow to her crease, and this is a powder from Sasha Cosmetics. I'm using my Sigma E40 brush to apply this to the crease of her eyes, and as you can see, I'm just going to be blending that out. Now, using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Shadow Couture palette, I'm going to be applying Morocco into the crease of her eyes as well. So I'm just basically trying to add some more definition and depth to the crease. So as you can see, I'm focusing the color mainly on the outer corners of her eyes, and I'm just going to buff everything out to make sure it's well blended. Now I'm going to be going in with Fudge, and I'm just going to simply apply it in the same area just to build the depth and definition in her eyes, like I mentioned before. Using a fluffy brush from BH Cosmetics, I'm going to be applying Soft Peach to her crease as well, and this is just basically to buff out all of the eyeshadows that I applied, and just so it doesn't have any harsh lines going on. And now I'm going to be going in with Noor eyeshadow, and this is basically like the matte black eyeshadow. It's so pigmented. I absolutely this is my favorite black eyeshadow to use. And I'm just going to be applying this into the outer corners of her eyes, and as you can see, I'm using a much smaller crease brush to do this, and this just gives me a very nice defined and precise application. Going back into the Morocco eyeshadow, and I'm basically just using my Sigma E40 brush once again to just buff out the black eyeshadow, just to make sure it's not super harsh. Now I'm using this gorgeous eyeshadow from Stila Cosmetics, and it's called Vintage Black Gold, I believe. And basically I just mixed it with the primer that it comes with, and it gives me this nice liquid eyeshadow thing. I don't know, but it's so beautiful, as you guys can see. And I'm basically just applying this to the blank space that I left, so from the inner corners of her eyes all the way till the end. I'm just basically filling up that space using the eyeshadow mixture that I created. South Asian makeup looks are usually quite dramatic, and so to add that drama back into this look, I'm going to be reapplying the black eyeshadow from my Shadow Couture palette, and I'm just focusing on the outer V of her eyes, and then I'm going to drag it inwards. Now I'm going back in with this first color that I use as my transition color, and I'm just using a BH Cosmetics brush to kind of buff it into the crease and kind of diffuse all of the colors that I use and make sure none of it is harsh. Now after doing this, I'm going to be highlighting her brow bone using a light powder from, I believe it's Maybelline, I'm not too sure, but I'm going to be applying this on her brow bone, and then I went ahead and used a white eyeshadow to actually go over this, but I don't think I showed. Okay, yeah, I did. Okay, yeah. So I'm applying this white eyeshadow on her brow bone as well, just because I didn't think the first powder was intense enough. And this eyeshadow is from my Morphe 350 palette. Now I'm going back in with my Sigma E39 brush just to buff everything out and make sure all of my colors are nice and smooth. Now I'm just cleaning up the eyeshadow look using a makeup wipe, and this just gives me a nice sharp edge. You can apply some tape on your eyes prior to doing your eyeshadow to get the same effect. Now I'm using my Kat Von D tattoo liner in Trooper to line her eyes, and I'm going to be highlighting her face using my BH Cosmetics Wild and Radiance palette. I already applied her foundation, highlights, and contour off camera, and I'll link the video to that in the description box and also in the video. So if you're interested in learning how to highlight and contour, be sure to watch that video. I'm also applying the highlight to her inner corners, and as you can see, this just really brightens up the inner corner of her eyes, and it just really opens up her eyes, as you guys can see. Now I'm going to be applying this blush from my City Colors palette, and I'm just placing this on the outer corners of her cheeks, and then I'm dragging it inwards. For her lips, I'm going in with my Spice Lip Pencil by Prestige, and I'm just going to outline her lips. And after doing this, I'm going to be applying the Colourpop liquid lipstick called LAX. I'm going to go ahead and clean up the lip application using a concealer from Stella Cosmetics. I didn't really take my time to do this at this point in the video. I went back in later on and fixed it at the end just because I wanted to move on with the look. But right now I'm just going in with some gel liner, and this is from BH Cosmetics, and I'm just placing this in her waterline. Then I go in with Morocco eyeshadow, and I'm using my Sigma E20 brush to buff that into the lower lash line. I go back in with Fudge as well, and I do the same thing. And then to really add the drama to the look, I went back in with the black eyeshadow and I basically applied it to the lower lash line as well. Alright you guys, so this is what the eyes look like done, and this is the finished look with the whole attire and everything going on. I absolutely love how it turned out. A huge thank you to my friend Issra once again for doing this with me. She's so gorgeous. I'll leave all of her social media links in the description box, so definitely check her out. And thank you all so much for watching. Please thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in our next video.